Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Tributes have been pouring in from leaders around the world for Mikhail Gorbachev, the former Soviet leader who brought the Cold War to a peaceful end. Mr. Gorbachev took power in 1985 and introduced reforms, as well as opening up the Soviet Union to the world. Outside Russia, he was widely respected, with the UN chief saying he had changed the course of history. But he was unable to prevent the slow collapse of the Union, and many Russians blamed him for the years of turmoil that ensued. The hospital in Moscow where he died said he had been suffering from a long and serious illness. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida praised his legacy as a world leader who supported the abolishment of nuclear weapons.
Mikhail Gorbachev is tot.
Meanwhile, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz commemorated Mikhail Gorbachev as a courageous reformer and statesman who dared to do many things.
Mikhail Gorbachev is one of those people who changed the world and unquestionably changed it for the better. When you look at what he did to make Europe whole, free, to give freedom to the countries of the former Soviet Union, it was a quite extraordinary thing. And of course, Mikhail Gorbachev is one of those people who triggered a series of changes that perhaps he didn't anticipate. Maybe he paid his own political price for it. But when history is written, he will be, I think, one of the authors of fantastic change for the better.
Russia has completely halted gas supplies to Europe via a major pipeline, saying repairs are needed. The Russian state-owned energy giant Gazprom said the new restrictions on the Nord Stream 1 pipeline would last for the next 3 days. Russia has already significantly reduced gas exports via the pipeline. It denies accusations it has used energy supplies as a weapon of war against Western countries. Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi has said he will vacate his post if the complicated political situation in the country continues. Enough of the duplicity of state and non-state actors, he said, adding that a commission of inquiry had been formed to investigate the origin of weapons used in Baghdad's deadliest clashes in years. On Monday, al-Kadhimi suspended cabinet sessions until further notice. This week's violence erupted after Shia cleric and politician Muqtada al-Sad said he was withdrawing from all political activity. A toddler has died in Spain after being struck on the head by a hailstone. About 50 other people reported injuries ranging from bruises to bone fractures from the freak 10-minute-long storm that hit the Girona region of Catalonia on Tuesday evening. It destroyed roofs, downed power cables and shattered windows. Catalonia's meteorological service said one of the hailstones measured 10 centimetres in diameter. It is the largest to rain down on the region since 2002. And mourners have marked the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's death in Paris. People laid flowers and left messages on the bridge above the underpass where she was killed in a car crash. The princess was just 36 when the limousine carrying her and her lover, Dodi Al-Fayed, crashed in the tunnel below the bridge as it sped away from photographers who were chasing it on motorbikes. She was one of the world's most recognized and photographed women and a high-profile supporter of humanitarian causes, including children's charities and landmine clearance, when she died.
And I just spent the whole day crying. I had very young children and they pretty much had to do what they had to do that day because I was just so distraught.
It was a big day when the world changed.
How did it change?
I think maybe the fairy tale, we woke up, there's two sides to a fairy tale, you know, and all of a sudden the darkness was apparent, and then we had September 9/11 a few years later, and that was another wake up. The world is, yeah, maybe we have to deal with the darkness in a better way.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.